Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride on Rideshare, your life.
Hi there.
Hi, you want to put your bag in the back?
No, that's okay. How you doing?
How are you?
Good. You need to see my ID?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I need to see the ID.
Okay, I thought that was
Not
part
unless
of
you just want me to see how young and beautiful you are.
Well, thank you. All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I do fine every day.
Good.
Every day. I started yesterday creating this day. See how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
How are you doing? How was your flight?
Good. Yeah, it's a quickie. Just, about an hour and 15 minutes
Okay.
from Asheville. So,
From where?
Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville. Okay. You're visiting or you just
Yeah, I'm
returning?
just visiting.
Visiting? Okay. So you live down south where everyone ages very slow because it's less stress.
Yes, you're right.
You know?
How's the stress here?
Yeah. How you said how? I don't know.
How is the stress?
I fly high. I keep my
You keep your vibe
my
high.
vibe high.
That's important.
It's so important.
That's how we transcend this physical linear existence.
Yes.
And it's the fountain of youth.
Yes.
Entering into the infinite and the eternal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right on.
Exactly. It's like if you don't like the way something tastes, why eat it?
Exactly.
You know? So it's like I know how it is to be vibing down there. It does not feel good, so I keep my vibrations as high as possible.
Yeah, I get it.
By not allowing anyone to invoke a negative thought, feeling, or behavior in me.
Oh yeah, not always easy though. I don't know.
It's not always.
You don't get caught in the human experience of the nature of the mind that can have a death grip on you periodically.
I've rewritten much of that negative program.
Great.
You know?
Yeah.
I've rewritten much of it because, and then my grandmother had this thing where she developed a better understanding of the human condition, the part of the human condition that says it's 9 times out of 10, a person behaves negatively towards you. It has nothing to do with you.
Absolutely.
Even when it seemingly does, but it has everything to do with what's going on with them internally.
We are all just projecting outside of what our internal experience is.
Yes. And
Yeah, totally.
your external experience is a mirror of what's going on in you.
Right, and that's exactly what we attract. Also, is whatever's going on inside of us. We draw that in.
Yeah.
I see you're listening to Jack Canfield, Law of Attraction.
And I see that the universe has matched our vibrations, which is why you're in my car.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, nothing happens by chance.
Right.
You know, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Either you or myself was in the asking, and the universe is always going to answer the nature to your call.
Yeah.
It would never not do that. And one of us has an asking, and that answer is soon going to be either we're going to be directed to it, or we're going to have that. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
On this trip right
Well,
now.
we're in resonance. You and I. What's your name?
Yeah. My name is Tondré.
Tondré.
Yes, Tondré.
That's a nice name.
you.
So tell me a little bit about the origin of the name.
It's just my sister and my brother's name combined. The first 3 letters in her name, last 3 in his.
Oh, nice.
You know, of course, and my mom's from Louisiana. She's a Creole, so you have that accent over the E.
Yeah, cool. That's very cool.
So yeah, that's where.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Tondré.
Same
Oh,
here.
there it is, Tondré Ole.
Oh yes.
I like that with the Ole on
Yeah,
that.
one of my good friends years ago, I used to call his name is Sparry. It's from the Virgin Islands. I used to call him Sparry McGee. And so he started calling me Tondré Ole. So it stuck. I liked it, and I kept it. And I branded, so it's mine.
Good. It suits you for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, good.
So you know much about the law of attraction. You know Jack Canfield.
Well, to some extent, Jack Canfield, yeah. And what about Joe Dispenza?
Joe Dispenza, the neuroscientist.
Yeah, I like him, and my practice is just to become magnetic, just through my own work, clearing my internal conduit so that I can be a source of inspiration for others. And my mantra is, all I gotta do is be.
Yes.
And just be loved. That's it.
Yes.
Love myself first.
Yeah, I saw your aura when you.
Oh yeah.
When I stepped out, when you came to the window, and then when I stepped out, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be an interesting trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like attracts like, you know.
Yeah, it does. And it's amazing because it's like I recognize that it's time to let go of some of the friendships that no longer support or sustain me, and it's like, and I can say goodbye in love and wish people well, and then I find myself deepening into relationships that really, is like, there we are. We're able to go deeper, and I'm trusting the attraction of the energy between me and whomever. Yeah. It's like, okay, if there's good juju there, go for it. Yes, the green light kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all about staying on that high flying disc.
Can you say that again? Can you turn the sound off on your radio? Is that okay?
Oh yes.
I find you much more interesting.
Okay. I was just used to have the law of attraction being on this. Yeah, this
we'll have it running in the background.
Yeah. I just forgot. I didn't even hear it. What were you saying before?
Yeah, so I trust that the connection, the resonance of the energy between me and someone else, and I'm like, oh yeah, and that there's that curiosity, and it's like the green light. It's like saying, oh yeah, okay, the universe says, this person's here, and it's like, let's dial in, kind of thing.
When I started my journey, my spiritual journey, I actually manifested the audiobook, The Key to Living in Law of Attraction by Jack Kane. I didn't know much about manifesting, whether we were able to do it or whatever it is. And a little bit of backstory. In about 2015, I reached my all-time low. I became sick and tired of being sick and depressed.
Right.
And because I've been going in and out of depression since childhood, and if I'm a bit of an empath, I can have these highs, and then I speak to someone who I empathize with and get my emotions involved with that, whatever they had going on vibrationally, lower vibrations, and then my vibration was just drop, and I'm wondering what is going on.
Oh, that empath,
yeah. And so what I did was I set up sort of a prayer, just something very, very general. I would like to attract more positive, like-minded individuals into my life path.
Yeah.
And then about a day later or so. Very rarely on Facebook, I would go post something positive, send positive messages to random people, and then get off before the negative algorithms got to me. Which I've since learned how to manipulate those algorithms to only send me positive. And then it wasn't my newsfeed, The Key to Living the Law of Attraction by Jack Canfield. And I was like, well, okay, Source, you got the attraction part right, so let's just see what this is about. I started listening to it, and it was uncanny. The information was what my grandmother had been teaching me growing up. I'm a bit of a grandma's boy.
Yeah.
But she knew nothing about the title, the law of attraction. She got her wisdoms from her relationship with Source, most people call God, and of course I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
And studying spiritual guides like Christ and mostly Christ and maybe others. And also her and also life, And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wait, my grandmother told me this. I know that. Wait, my grandmother told me. What? Okay, what is this book again? And so I just started. I started being intentional with it.
Yeah.
But I started studying, and I wanted to know exactly what was going on, what happened, what changed in me, and why. Because when I changed my mind, I changed my attitude, I changed my life. Yeah. And I did another thing that she always said to do is always seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And so when I started earnestly seeking it, my inner guide started, because it's just left and right. The knowledge was just coming. And then I got to a point to where, I'm to a point where I'm still raising my vibrations and learning to just be, like you said, and allow the guidance to just come. I learned how to stay in my lane. And then I learned what my lane is, first of all. What all of our lane is we possess two of the most powerful things as human beings. and that is our thoughts and our emotions.
Exactly.
Because energy follows thoughts, you know, and our emotion and our thoughts create. Our thoughts become things. Our emotions is key. They don't create, but your emotions is the fuel that is used to shoot out your rockets of desire to the universe, and then that will be whatever will be attracted back to you.
Yeah.
You know, mirrored back to you. So I learned that is the lane to stay. That's my lane. If we can learn to control those two things, 100%, we'll find our life will be ebbing and flowing. Even when a not so good thing presents itself, we'll be more likely to respond, less likely to react.
Exactly.
But the understanding of the human condition, when you know that it's them and not you, and that it's coming from a place of pain, a place of fear.
Exactly.
Then you don't react like we're programmed to do. You respond in a positive way. Yes. Keeping in mind that the universe is not your parents. It would not say, well, since you're more positive and this person came at you negatively, I'm going to send them that negative, but you get a pass this time. It will not do that. No. Everybody gets the return on the energy that they create.
Yeah, that's the karma.
It keeps checks and balances on each and every one of us.
That's karma, which is the law of checks and balances. Really, the law of energy. What you put out is what you receive.
Yes,
sure.
Yes, and it's just I say sure. You know, we're given free will.
As humans, definitely.
And surely you don't think that you're going to be giving something that powerful and be left to your own devices. So that's why the universe is there to just keep checks and balances, make sure and it's fair across the board. You know, and it also uses us all to answer the nature of each other's call. You know, that's how things get done. That's how Source gets a lot of things done. That's how Source answers a lot of the nature to our call. You know, through other people and also things, just presenting opportunities to make that thing happen for you. I mean, everything throughout our lives.
I can see the intelligence of the design. And for instance, the parents I chose as a soul, and dealing with whatever conflict or challenges that they presented to me in my life. And it's not about blaming them, but it's like, in fact, thanking them, because if it wasn't for them, then I never would have really come along my path and done my work and really claimed who I truly am. And the personality, you know, the human condition I see as beautiful. We oftentimes think it's so fucked up, and you know the ego and the mind and all the emotions and the reactivity, and that they are guides also. They're trying to take care of us, and as long as we can embrace them with curiosity and compassion, then we can learn from them, and they can serve as really facilitators of our personal, emotional, and spiritual evolution. So it's beautiful. It just amazes me just how we're like these magical beings, really. And we are sparks of God after all.
And the thing is that people, I see people differently now. When I didn't trust people before, but when I learn who we are, who I am, and the power that I possess, that we all possess, and no one's exempt from it. No one's special. No one person is special in the divine's eye. Every single one of us is here to add to the expansion of the universe. And that contrast and variety causes us to ask for things and to create. You know, and instead of when I used to say when I was vibing low, why is this happening to me? Now I learned to ask, what is this trying to teach me?
Right. And why is this happening for me?
Or what energy that I create that is attracting this to me?
Well, and that is so powerful to come from that perspective, because then it's not a blame game. It's not about giving power or control or responsibility away. It's about bringing it back to oneself and saying, okay, here's my lesson. Now I can choose to really direct my life in the way that I want, in the best way possible, in my highest vibration.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
It's like, wow, it's so simple. I mean,
practice makes perfect, because you have the programming that tells us otherwise, and because we're used to that.
That's
but
what
once you rewrite that programming, then, like my grandmother said, practice makes perfect. Then it's like riding the bike. It is like riding a bike, and you're vibing. So, and people wondering, well, what is wrong? Like not what is wrong with you, but they should be saying what is right with you. But they say, what is wrong with you? Like why? Like you just seem so happy all the time, and all of this stuff going on, the pandemic and all this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
If it doesn't serve me in a positive way, my focus is not there. You know, for instance, I had a rider who asked me if I believe in the devil, and I said, when I was vibing low, I did. I said, but I realized that my thoughts, that I create my own reality. And whatever I focus on, then that is going to be my reality.
Exactly.
And that's not my focus.
Exactly.
You know, that's not my focus. It's not my truth. You know,
it's about living in your truth. Yes. And really embodying it. It's not a cognitive, cerebral process. It's not like, oh, well, I think this. It is like, I fucking know this. This is how I live my life. I can feel the resonance of it.
Yes.
And I see the continual synchronicities and messages from the universe that are saying, yeah, go girl. That's where you are.
Yes.
Right on.
And don't you love it at vibing so high at these high frequencies?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's better than any drug.
Oh, well.
You know? Well, I mean, because I had some really nice meditation. Like I did a chakra meditation that was so beautiful. But it was early on, and it was the first one I did, and when I astral projected, my body just sort of had this vibration all over it, and I started to feel like I was levitating above my body, and my old programming kicked in, so I wanted it to stop.
And then it's scary.
And then I wanted
it. Like, wait a minute, where am I?
then I was like, you know, if I do it again, I want to have someone there that I can, you know.
Right.
But my inner guide guided me like through, and when I was ready, when I matched the vibration of frequency of having that experience again, it's when I least expected it. I guess I manifested it because when you forget about it, that's when the manifestation presents itself.
Yeah.
I did this time. It was a gratitude meditation.
Oh, sweet.
The first 7 minutes in the morning is key because you're just coming out of sleep.
Yes, you're in that hypnopumpic state.
Yes, and I did the gratitude meditation, and then the meditation, it was about the guide said to imagine a large table with people that you've met in your life that have may have caused you wrong and have done good things, but imagine them all there and show gratitude for the lessons you've learned, you know, in meeting them.
Yes.
And so I started with the people that I had relaxed from my life's path.
Yes.
You know, because I don't cut anybody off. To do so is to pinch yourself off from your infinite energy. You know? Yeah. And as soon as I started thinking, I started seeing their faces and going around the table and gratitude, thank you, gratitude. It was like, woof, it hit me. Yeah. And the vibration was just like, and I was like, whoa. And so I wasn't afraid of it this time because I said, you know what, when it happens again, I'm going to let it ride. Because something said, and it was like all of these colors started presenting itself, different array of colors. Beautiful. Even black. It says, that belongs there too. Don't be afraid of black, the darkness, you know, because it's an opportunity for growth that when lots of good things present itself. So I just let it all in. Not the darkness, but just all of the different colors. And then I started, it's as if I astral projected, and then I started floating from one side of the room to the other, and wasn't afraid whether I hit the wall or not. I wasn't even focused on that, and I didn't. I just everywhere. And then I felt connected to everything, everywhere in existence.
Yes.
And it was such a beautiful feeling. I was like, wow. And I just had it's like, it just felt so good that you want to stay there all the time. You want to just stay there all the time.
And then comes the human desire to cling to that experience that we can muster. It's like, oh, okay, because the only moment is the present. It's like, and it presents opportunity wherever, whenever, however,
And I appreciate that. I appreciate every experience in my life. Even the people, bless you.
Well, the fact that you experienced it means you stepped over the threshold into that reality, and that it's available to you anytime.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's a one-off kind of thing.
Because I can feel the emotion of it, and it raises my vibration. Yeah. You know, and it's like it's like instant. I know, like it just permeates for me, and I just have this feel good all over. You know, and I learn how to do it. Especially when I feel like, okay, a negative thing presents itself, I go into that I just feel right deep down in here, in my heart, just like allow that permeation to just exude.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I still got it. you know.
Wow.
But I also had to do the same thing that you were mentioning about releasing certain people.
Yeah, and it's totally okay.
Yeah, and I did it without judgment.
Yeah.
And it was only one person that I had a bit of a, I guess, time with, because they were like a brother to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what my inner guide was saying is I started noticing that once I embarked upon this journey, and I learned from one of the mentors, I think maybe it was Esther and Abraham Hicks, you know, it said, maybe it was Bob Proctor or one of the others, where they said, you're going to notice that people, you know, are going to start excusing themselves from your life, or you're going to start losing friends, right?
Yes.
You know? And so, I did it without judgment. I did it without any of that, because I learned that everyone is on their own journey.
Exactly.
Everyone's on their own spiritual journey, whether they acknowledge that it's spiritual or not. We're spiritual beings. You know?
I call it a soul, SOUL, and SOLE journey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and the one individual, you know, the inner extension of source was just showing me how things play out. That I was asked to do a favor, and I was like, you know what, I really don't want to do it, but yeah, let me just do it. And well, my inner guy said, do it, and I'm going to show you why they too you need to.
And I'm going to show you why they
too need to be relaxed from your
okay.
You know, from your life's path, if only for a little while. You know, for a little while or for however long, but don't lose the attachment. You know, just lose the attachment. And so it played out, and I was like, I was just and I was laughing the entire time. I wasn't angry or anything, you know, about it, any of it. I was just like, wow. So it was just proof that my inner guide was there, and it was guiding me, and then I was allowing it. I was practicing the art of allowing, just allowing it to do. Yeah. And so I relaxed the friendship, you know, and you know, and if I still see, you know, any of my old friends, hey, how you doing? But you know, I was like, I won't, certain ones I won't no longer break bread and drink wine with. You know? Right. Because but they all serve their purpose, and I send thank yous out to each and every one of them. Thank you, because because of the lessons that I've learned. Right. I am able to tap into who I'm innately meant to be. Exactly. Who I came here to be. Exactly. And then in my time with depression and all of that, I appreciate every experience in my life, because now I know my purpose. And and that's like, I saw an article in one of the newspapers, New York Times, or maybe I don't know if it's the Wall Street Journal, but it was New York Times and New York Post, where it said 98% of New Yorkers, or maybe it was 85% of New Yorkers, and something like that, of New Yorkers live out almost their entire life never even coming close to discovering what their purpose is. Oh, yeah, and then I think of that percentage, you know, equated to the entire globe, and that's that 1% that you hear about that have figured out what their purpose is. Exactly. Yeah. You know, and I also reached a stage where comparisons keep us stagnated. It keeps us in
keeps
fear.
us out of our own lane.
Yes, minding other people's pies.
Yeah, right.
You know,
it's not applicable to us.
Yeah. But it's been a beautiful journey. I learned the art of making other people's negative opinions of me none of my damn business, because it's none of my business.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. It's all about them and where they are, and you know, God bless them. You know.
Yeah, and I, like I said, no judgments. It's solely truly love. And when I say I don't pinch my heart off, or my off to any of anything really, it's because, you know, especially with the old friends, it's because it was in hopes that one day they will soon feel what I'm feeling. they would get it. They would get there.
Uh-huh.
And one day they will. It's like according to like I don't know if you ever heard of Abraham Hicks.
Uh-huh.
Abraham and Esther Hicks.
Yeah.
So how Abraham puts it is you can either get there and realize why you came here in the first place, why you're alive, or you're gonna know once you croak. Once you croak, you're gonna instantly know why you came in the first place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's been a very interesting journey this one, and another thing is like I love spending time with self. I prefer it.
Yes.
I prefer it. It's like I have my own comedy show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I crack myself up all the time. It's me and I have a cat. I call him Samuel Jackson. Because he's when he introduced himself to me, he had this Pulp Fiction vibe.
Oh yeah. Wow.
But I actually manifested Sam because I was in a general way. I was like, it'd be nice to have a cat, but I was good with or without it. And then I was like, one day coming home from the gym, this tuxedo, this dark shadow ran past me. And those in the kitchen, laid out in the kitchen. Never seen this cat in the neighborhood. And it's a tuxedo cat, black and white cat. So it's cool. I gave him some treats because I had treats I used to give to the cats in the neighborhood and the squirrels. During the whole lockdown, everybody's inside or whatever.
Yeah,
and so I let him go out. Okay, all right. And the next day came back again, and I closed the door. He didn't freak out, so I knew he wasn't feral. That someone may have owned him. So I kept him for about a week to see if anyone, if anyone lost a cat. No one claimed. So he stayed. I said, okay, all right.
Adopted him.
I guess you can stay. But I manifested it. But I said in the asking, I said, if I do get a cat, I want him to match my personality exactly.
Yes.
And sure enough, matches my personality. I can be walking on the phone, talking to my mom or anyone, and I'm going back and forth, pasting through the rooms, and he'll jump out of nowhere and swipe my leg. But I do the same thing to him. We'll do like he's just walking by, and I just push him. And so we have this bond.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Very funny, very charismatic.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I had this incredible vibe with a friend's Chihuahua, Nina, and every time I'd visit him, I would be hoping that he would offer her to me.
Yes.
And then ultimately he did. And he said she would be happier with you. And so I took her, and she was incredible. And then she ended up dying. She was getting old and whatnot. She died.
She transitioned.
She did. She
there is no death.
Yeah. And she left, and it was for the purpose of opening up my life, because unbeknownst to me, that's when I drew in my life partner. It was like, okay, I've served my purpose, I've been your companion, and now you're drawing in your life partner.
Yes.
and then what was so wild is I had some friends come over because I ended up having a vet administer medicines to put her down gently. And then afterwards we sang a call, which is the song for the unliving, or the, continuing to live, and safe passage and all that. And then 2 days later, I went to an ecstatic dance, and the DJ opened up the set with a call. And I'm like, yes.
That's confirmation right there that she's
like,
okay.
She's like saying, I'm good, mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful how the universe does things like that for us?
I love synchronicities. They are just like, yes. It's like, and actually I was not calling in my life partner. All of a sudden, 2 years ago in February, I tell my girlfriends, I'm like, I feel my life partner coming in. I just surprised.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, he'll come in toward the end of the year. Well, 5 weeks later, I met him. and in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where I didn't want to go because I knew it was a tourist trap. And I was like, I wanted to get to know the Mexican people and the culture and all that. And I was like, I have to go to Puerto Vallarta. I'm like telling my parts, okay, we're going. I don't know why.
You were being guided there.
Huh?
You were being guided there.
I was being guided there, and I listened to the call, and I met him. And but the whole year before I met him, I would see these mourning dove couples all the time on my walks, and I would say, yes, I know he's coming, and thank you. Yes, I know he's coming, and thank you. And then after I met him and we got together in Mexico City for a total of 1 week and then another week, the mourning doves built a nest on my windowsill. And I was like, yes, I know. And so, yeah. And then we got married last February. So.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, are you paying attention? Because the universe is constantly telling us one way or another. It's like we're not supposed to be efforting. We're not supposed to be trying and struggling and striving and all that. It's like it really is easy when we're really,
when you release the resistance.
Yeah.
It just because we're programmed with the fortitude to think that you don't deserve it unless you work hard for it.
Yeah, which is a bunch of crap.
Yes, everything you need is not upstream, it's downstream. Because follow nature.
Yeah, right.
Water knows a direct path around any obstacle, and if you can't get around it, it's going to go through it. It's going to go ahead until it goes through.
And it's just like truth. Truth will come through no matter what.
That is amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's amazing because the mind, it loves to think in the dualities of good, bad, right, wrong, black, white. And as soon as it does, I mean, it's really trying to simplify our existence. It's like saying, well, this is good, go for that. This is bad, get rid of that. But then as soon as it ascribes something as bad, it ends up incurring our suffering because we see it as bad.
Yeah, we attach that to it, and it's like, okay.
It's like, okay, it just is.
Because you're just getting bad what the energy that you're creating.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
It's like if you want your suffering to end, then think a different thought, think a more positive thought, get your vibrations high, and stop railing against things.
Well, have you read the book, The Untethered Soul?
No, but I would love to read it.
It's a really good book, and The Untethered Soul: The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer.
Michael A. Singer.
Yeah, I'll leave you a little note.
And you can scan my QR code right there.
Okay.
And since I'm getting ready to drop you off in about 12 minutes, I'll go ahead and I'll reveal to you. This is not my normal gig.
This is not your normal gig.
My normal gig. I started about a year and a half doing research for a show idea called Rideshare Your Life, and you are on my show right now.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. And the purpose
you didn't get my consent, but it's totally okay.
The purpose of the show is not live, by the way.
Okay.
The purpose of the show is I share my grandmother's wisdoms. I talk about exactly the things that we just talked about because there's so much negativity going on out there during the whole lockdown. I know one thing I felt the energy before.
Oh boy, I'll tell you my story about that. Yeah, it's
and
cool.
People are so they're behaving negatively because of fear. You know,
exactly.
Because the fear will have us being the opposite of who we're innately meant to be. Fear is what causes us to behave the way that they were behaving during the whole thing. It was fear.
Oh, totally.
You know, and when you lose that fear, then you will find your life ebbing and flowing because you don't have that is creating negativity in you and negative behaviors in you. But you find that governments use it, religions use it, and also advertisement agency uses, social media uses it to get people to do what they need them to do when they need them to
do it. Oh, totally. Yeah.
You know, and it's like just lose that fear.
My belief was that each person is at choice, at free will, and that they, have the right to discern what's right for them, and that I'm going to honor their choice.
Yes.
And but I saw this whole polarization between the maskers, anti-maskers, the vaxxers, the anti-vaxxers, which creates the division when we are truly all one. And with that smoke screen of that conflict, there's always a shared fear or a shared goal. And the fear was, oh, God, I'm afraid I'm going to not be well. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to die. I got to take the vax.
And when you think that way, all the universe does is just bring that to
it'll
you.
just bring it on. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And so, but the same with the anti-vaxxers. Oh, if I take the vax, I'm going to, I can't, I've got to be. And so that the goal was health and safety.
Yes.
But the thing is that we're not able to see that because of the infighting, the back and forth, and, me versus you kind of thing. And so.
And that was purposely done just for that reason.
Yeah, totally. And that, what does that speak of in terms of our work? Humanity's work is, let us come together, let us honor one another, let us, recognize that we are all wanting health, safety, and that, it's like we can honor that within one another and love one another.
Yeah.
And come together in union. So, yeah, that's what's going on in terms of consciousness of our planet, too, is that the ego is demonstrating a difficult time in letting go of power, control, and dominance.
Yes.
That's what we thought that we were needing to do in order to gain power within ourselves.
And it's the ego,
it's a delusion, really.
Yeah, and as you say, it's the ego and the persona.
Yes.
And I learned that the ego is, especially when you're embarking upon a spiritual journey, the ego is just trying to protect you from the pain that is going to come from that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really so invested in our well-being.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to ask you to entrust me because I have a knowing of where to go. And I'm going to ask you to join me one step at a time. And when you get afraid or whatever, I'll be there with and for you. I'll listen to you. And I'm going to ask you to see if you can have a broader understanding, more patience, so that we can walk along this path together.
Yes.
And it will. It's like I've seen with my mind, it's kind of like, well, I don't get it, Benita. I don't understand where you're coming from, but I can feel that something is true about this. And because the mind is so curious, it's like, I'll back off. I'll continue to witness. I'll check it out. Let's just see where you're going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because growing up, because my grandmother, she started out religious, but the older and more wiser she became, she became more spiritual.
Yeah.
And so she understood. And this is why she used to tell me, put your trust in no man, especially not a man on the pulpit, shaking the Bible. And I later added the Quran or the Torah, trying to convince you of who God is and what God's purpose is for you and the world. Read to gain your own understanding, study to show yourself approved, and always seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Wait, slow down and say it again. I didn't catch that.
Read to gain thine own understanding and study to show thyself approved. And always seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And source will reveal the absolute truth, not the diluted truth.
Right.
And even if you read those books, the truth will come. You'll be able to see past all of the rubbish because you're being guided. You're allowing the source within you to guide you to it. So it's like when you have people that you're hanging out with, you have one that really doesn't like you, but you don't notice that because you're at your vibration, you're at a different high vibrational frequency, and you want the best for everybody there. You don't know until someone tells you, and then you still don't. Oh, well, God bless them. I wish them well. And you earnestly mean it,
exactly.
because you know that it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with that individual. But I just followed my grandmother's instructions, and it's like when I was at my lowest, going through depression and everything. It was my grandmother's guidance that I was receiving.
That's so precious.
And I just hear the things that she would say. People used to come from all around and just to be in her presence because she had that beautiful aura. And didn't even have to say much. It was just be in her presence.
Wow.
And it's just I was one that I never ran from her. My other cousins used to run whenever she started talking, speak. I would stay there.
You were interested.
I would stay there out of respect, and then I was like, wait, this is some interesting stuff she's talking about. Yeah. And then I was a bit of like growing up pretty much to myself. Didn't really hang out with my cousins and other people. I was different.
I totally
because
get that.
thought,
Yeah.
I thought differently. I looked at the world differently.
Yeah.
You know, I empathize with children and when they were children in other countries who were suffering, and you know, I empathize with that. And when I was going through depression, that was my way of raising my vibrations. It's just wanting better for them.
Well, the depression also, you know, it's what's so beautiful to, you know, hear is that was a catalyst for you to adopt or to embody a high vibration.
Yes.
And so it was purposeful. And my sense is it came in because you're an empath and you were taking in everybody else's energies rather than really being attuned to you, your source within.
Yes.
And that's where it's like, I mean, you know, I hear from empaths all the time, and they're always saying, I've got to encircle myself in this, you know, orb of light and, you know, and protect. I've got to bring in the protection, but that's coming from fear.
Yes.
It's not coming from the truth of source of who we truly are. That's what we really are needing to embody. And then we can still be compassionate and connected and loving toward the people and those who are suffering, but we can truly come from our power and be a source of inspiration and guidance for them.
Yes.
And that's what it's about.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you know, if we get mucked up because of everybody else, then we can't serve. Yes. There's just no way.
And that's what I love meeting people, you know, when I speak to people who, you know, who are in the backseat of my car, and a lot of them, they're in places where they don't know the next direction in their life. You know, because
we gotta get together.
They struggle with
that's what
I
love. Oh my God!
And so, but I set the intentions for my day every morning. You know, source. How can I be of service? Because we ask all the time. And so I end up in places that I wouldn't normally be. For instance, I had several trips come through. One canceled, one didn't show up, and another one, it was getting me back waiting for you to order an Uber. And that's how the universe works. You know?
Well, let me tell you, because I'm letting go of my psychotherapy license after being a therapist for over 40 years.
Okay.
And what I do is I offer spiritual mentorship to helpers and healers who are really, they feel their soul calling. They don't know where they're going. And that's what I love, is let's enter into that magic and the mystery of the not knowing.
Yes.
Because it is the alchemical urn of creation, and that is like, whoa. And that's where I'm going, and it's like, it's very exciting, and I keep getting the guidance. Go there, girl. Yep. And
what are you doing? What are you doing that for? Oh my God, people are special.
Treat people with kindness.
Oh my God.
It's perfect.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, so I love the not knowing, that unknown, and we delude ourselves into thinking we do know, but we only know when, in that one moment, it's like when it just dials in. It's like this three-dimensional, I call it like this three-dimensional wooden spherical puzzle. Everything just locks in.
Yes.
And only in that moment, because then we're constantly evolving, and then we're changing, and then, you know, it's like whatever the truth is. I've seen myself morph through the years, you know, and my purpose, but it's always been to serve people. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I was talking to she's a politician. I think she said she's a congresswoman yesterday, and we were talking about this in her situation where she was in the hospital and almost died, and how she said she sees across the board what's happening with both parties, but she's following her inner guide, and not allowing. Not just falling for anything that's out there. She said she's going to stay true to who she is, and just follow this guidance from her inner guide.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what this is all about, is that, you know, with the whole COVID and the pandemic, is that we lost our internal guidance. We were, all the sheeple and everything, and the fear that derailed us.
Yes.
And that was, and it's like, oh, here's our work. It's to discern, to tap in. What is my truth? What is my guidance?
But it's
and the same with the politics and everything. I mean, who knows what anything is? Any Republican and Democrats, let's throw all that out. The constructs and the labels and the definitions, they're all deteriorating, which is perfect.
Yeah. And it's amazing because and I think about it, it's like I jumped into action when that happened, the whole lockdown and everything. I just started putting out positive messages out there and just checking on people because I love just guiding people to inward. Because my grandmother always said, always follow your first mind, it would never lead you wrong. She used to ask me, where are you going? I'm just going to my cousin's house. What's out there? I said, well, I'm just going to hang out. She said, don't you know everything you will ever need? It's not out there. It's within you.
Right, exactly.
And she uses that moment to teach to share a knowledge with me. I think it's up here.
I'm
that knowledge with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is a beautiful trip, and I needed to hear from you today.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Because it's like that confirmation that tells me you are on track.
You're totally on track. Oh, going, for sure. Yeah.
But like I said before, the reason why I do this is for that reason. And everything is to keep everything positive and just share the wisdoms with people, because people need to hear something, maybe something that you say or I say that may spark something in them that they get it, that they just get it.
Exactly.
And so my inner guy says, you build it, they will come. I don't worry about likes or any of this other stuff. What is most important is the message. That's what's most important, is that the message. I agree. The power that we possess inside, because a lot of us don't realize that we have this trait from the Creator. We know that we were made in the likeness, but what does that mean?
It's like, what does it mean? Well, you're right.
It's like that's how everything was created. How everything was created. Source had the thought, and then the emotion went of love went behind it to fuel it, and then everything came. We have the same ability. We have the thought of something, and then the emotion fuels it, and it manifests.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like everything locks in: the thought, the emotion, and then we can take action.
Yeah, it's like having traits from both of your parents. It's it's certain genetic traits from both of your parents, and it's the same thing. But no one really contemplates that. And I ask a question, and then it comes to me in blocks of thought, or it may come to me in the conversations. I often say, sometimes God will deliver your answer to you from the most unlikely of sources.
Totally.
You can smell a rose, and all of a sudden you get aha moment. I got the answer to my question. You can see something beautiful. Come in contact with someone with beautiful spirits such as yourself, and you're like, I know now. I know the direction I need to take now. And it's just allowing. Practice the art of allowing and letting it come to you.
And it does. And it's like one of my mantras is, it is becoming evident. And like that, click in. It's like, oh yeah, click in. Okay, now I know. In this next moment, I know.
Yes.
Or this moment, I know.
And it's a positive, a powerful thing, And I said, I'll give this away for free, because really, it's coming through me.
Exactly.
To share with others. So it's like this is not mine. This is not my ideas. This is not my opinions. It's coming through me. And when someone is in the receptive mode, is only when I share. I don't waste my time or my energy
totally.
with those who are not, because you can't reason with a negative person.
Well, and what I told a friend of mine, I said, well, I offer what are called truth transmissions that I dial in, horizontal attunement, heart to heart, soul to soul. And then it's like, I'm in highest self, they entrain in their highest self. We draw in the vertical attunement of source, and that's when the magic and the mystery and the truth arises about their intersection of the human experience and their soul's path. Oh, wow. And then I'm aware that my next step is having people witness that, because that transmission also speaks to the human condition within others. And yeah.
Wow. If you don't mind, I would love to stay in contact with you.
I would love that. I would love that.
This is like amazing. Because I was told that by a writer. I was like, yeah, and they knew what I was going. This is before I actually started the production, and she said, don't worry, you don't have to look very far for your mentor. They will find you. They will find you. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't know if this is it, but I'm just gonna go with whatever the flow is. Like, let's stay in contact, and whatever happens.
Yeah,
we'll enjoy the coming about to the manifestation. Because that's the in between part, the juicy part that you really should pay attention to. The getting, once you get the manifestation, once it manifests itself, then it's like, now we're looking for the next manifestation. Okay, now what? So the most juicy part is leading up to watching everything unfold itself. You know,
it's like receiving. It's like, it's just here. It's like, oh, it's like, oh, I am, because I'm like, okay, I'm letting go of my license. I'm letting go of this level 3 IFS certification, which is my primary way of getting clients. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get clients, but I'm like, they're coming.
They're going to come to you. They're going to attract to you.
Exactly.
It's the same way when I set the intentions for my day. I don't worry about whether the person in the car had the ask. I'm just here doing my thing. Right? I usually play the Key to Living Law of Attraction. And when those who it resonates with, they speak up.
Exactly. I want to see your show. I definitely want to see your show.
Yeah, because it's on YouTube. I did the first one already on. Do we just like to see it now? Or,
I need to go, but but the thing is, you can put me on there if you want.
I would love to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What I'll do here is
you have my contact info.
Yeah, let me get that right now. I am just.
What's the name of your show?
It's called Rideshare Your Life.
Rideshare Your Life.
Yeah, Rideshare Your Life.
I fucking love it.
Oh, thank you.
I just love how this works. Thank you, universe. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it does not fail. And it's like, if you ever have doubt, which I don't, then you think back on those moments. You're like, you know what, that happened. Those things came about because of the love that Source has for you.
Yes.
It's like you show appreciation for that.